sense, I might pay you.
Make it make sense, come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense, come on, make it, make it, make it, make it. Make it make sense, come on, make it, baby. Make it, baby. Make it make sense, come on, make it, make it, make it.
What's good, y'all? Let's Make Sense of It podcast. We are back for another week, and like we always say,
the truth you don't want, but you definitely need it.
You definitely need it. I go by the boy Vance,
and I'm Ash,
and we are back again. Like always, follow us on Instagram. Let's Make Sense of It _ Let's Make Sense of It _ If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn those notifications, and if you are listening to us on any listening platforms, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on those notifications. Make sure to leave a review too. The reviews are, definitely appreciated. Mm-hmm. And we're going to tell you about Love Jones Wine.
Let's Make Sense of It is brought to you by Love Jones Wine, a black-owned wine company. Let's put that out there, you guys.
Black-owned.
Love Jones Wine is a refreshing, sophisticated taste of organic wine, Caribbean rum, and freshly picked fruit, a drink that will satisfy all your taste buds. Of course, we love our watermelon splash, but they have their signature red, white, and rosé. They also have their sangria. They have their trio packs, their mini bottles you want to take with you at a function. They probably ain't got good stuff, but you got it in your bag. You got it with you. And they also have their quad pack where you can buy a selection of all four. And you can go to lovejoneswines.com and use our promo code SENSE, SENSE, for a small discount. Don't be looking for a big one. But it's worth it. It's definitely a good wine and definitely great customer service.
Absolutely. Love Jones Wine, a cocktail made for you.
Always
gotta have that in there. Hey man, listen, if you got some stuff that y'all want to promote, man, make sure y'all hit us up. Hit the DM. You can email us. Send us a message. You can talk. You can hit us up personally if you know us personally. Yeah.
They would like, can y'all promote our stuff? Sure.
Absolutely.
Spin on there.
Absolutely. Oh, shout out to Spin with Wit too. This shirt that we got when we went to her spot. You know what I'm saying? We got Spin with Wit. You know what I'm saying?
I need to talk to Wit. I'm
Spin with Wit. You know what I'm saying? Hit that.
Right. I need to join spin class.
Join that spin class.
I'm about to join spin class.
Spin with Wit. All right. So this week we are back, and the title of this week's show is going to be "Let's Face It." Let's face it. So we're gonna have a bunch of questions as usual, and we gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into it. So let's start off this way. Men or women trapping their partners just because they want to have kids, but the other person doesn't. So let's start it off that way.
You start
with the trapping. That's kind of like a two-part. That's like a two-part question because the other was trapping them to save a relationship too. So we're gonna start with the trapping part first because I know sometimes people think a baby will save their life pretty much. Like when it comes to relationships, like they feel like, all right, if I trap this guy or if I trap this girl, they gonna be stuck with me for the rest of their life, only vicariously through the kid. And that's the fucked up part. Like people think, all right, they might not want to have a kid, but guess what? You knew what you was doing. Y'all laid down. You might have had a drunken, you know what I'm saying? Might have had a drunken moment, and then bam, next thing you know, the person pregnant, the person having a kid is like, all right, well. You got it.
Y'all ain't even have a moment to discuss. Like, exactly. I don't want a kid.
There was
like,
there was no discussion. There was no nothing. Like, I don't want to have a kid. I don't want to. Now the kid's on the way. Now those two people might not even have really liked each other. Because the sad part to say, a lot of people that have kids together don't really like each other. They just wanted to. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to smash pretty much. so they didn't like each other. They wanted to smash pretty much. Now it's a kid on the way. So now it's like fuck. Now gotta raise this kid, and they gotta kind of like deal with the other person.
Right.
So the plan was to trap the person. It works because now they know. Oh well, I want people because people quick to use their kids as like a pawn.
Oh, very much.
As like a pawn, like, oh, this is my kid. I could come see my kid whenever I want.
Like, no.
And it's like, well, I'm in a relationship now. You just can't be popping up.
You just can't pop up just because you want to see your kid. Like, have some decorum.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't be popping up at my doorstep because you want to see it. First of all, he or she is asleep or doing something. I don't feel like going to get them. You should have called first. Maybe they would have been ready to come to the door. And, see you. Have some boundaries. Like, you can't just be doing stuff just because you think you can. Who the fuck told you that?
Yeah. Trapping is that's a crazy. That's kind of that's like a mental something mentally is up there. It's like
That fucked me up because that came from a story I was reading on, I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram, where it was like a girl and a guy, they were together and she told him, like, put point blank period, I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. She had the proper precautions for it. She was on birth control. You know, they would use the condoms, and he sabotaged birth control.
Wait, he sabotaged who birth control? Her?
Birth control. I don't know how he did it or whatever he did or whatever case may be. Somehow, some ways, he sabotaged the birth control and she wound up pregnant. Oh. She wound up pregnant. He really wanted a kid and he didn't want to basically take her no for a no.
Right.
And he took it as a maybe. He took it as if you wind up pregnant, you just got to deal with it. And she had that baby and left him with the baby.
Sound a little psychotic. Like,
that's not psychotic. How is that psychotic? Well, his part psychotic.
I don't know. That's
if you say on her part psychotic,
because you said you
sabotaged.
Like you just sabotaged. Like
so, if you sabotage what was that, contraception? Contraception. If you sabotage that in any way, and whether he poked holes in the condoms, whether he did something with like the pesticide, like the not the pesticide, whatever it is.
Right. The spermicide.
There we go.
The spermicide?
Yeah, spermicide or whatever. I don't know what particularly he did, but it's just like you did that. She had the baby and left you as a single father because you wanted the kid she didn't. So now you have the kid that you wanted.
That's some super narcissistic behavior right there.
It's just like, I mean, but in all reality though, it's just like it's the same thing that a man would do if if he wound up getting a girl pregnant or whatever the case may be, but after saying he didn't want to have kids, and like she decided that she wanted to poke holes in a condom or stop taking her birth control without saying it, and then now she's pregnant, but he already told her, I don't want to have kids. It's a difference if y'all taking the proper precautions to prevent having kids, and then somebody fucks it up.
That poking hole in the condom shit though. That's really a thing. Like,
I mean, there's somebody out there doing it. That didn't come out of thin air. Somebody is out there doing it.
They just dumping with the condom in the chick. Like that's it's getting wild up.
But they don't know. You don't know if it's a hole in the condom. It's like a little needle hole.
It's giving psychotic. It's very much giving psychotic.
That is not psychotic.
A little bit.
That is not psychotic. That is just not taking somebody's boundaries seriously. If I say I don't want kids and you still want kids, then end the relationship.
Yeah, go to the next person.
Go to the next person that want to have kids. Like, stop trying to change somebody's mind because everybody does not want kids. I don't know who told y'all that everybody in this world want to be a parent. Everybody does not. Nope. Some people would rather be aunties, uncles, and godmothers maybe, but they don't want their own. They want to return them back to their original owners.
Kids is a lot. People think people say, oh, it's a blessing, but it's a lot. Like, it's a lot that come with kids. Like, when you can't get a kid back, you be like, all right, you got to deal with the crying, you got to deal with all of the sleepless nights, the sickness and everything, the doctor's appointments and all of that.
Yeah, you got to deal with them sacrifices. You can tell people a joy, like people that are parents, it's no problem telling people how much of a joy it is to be a parent. But like, don't make it sugar hills and rainbows, because we all know that's not the fuck true.
Yeah. Now, to answer part two of that, with trapping somebody to save a relationship. Now,
that's bogus.
Trying to have a kid to save a relationship, because people who think the kid's going to save the relationship. If the relationship was already on the outs, you having that kid, if anything, it might make it worse. Because now y'all might have already been arguing, might already been on the outs, and then now the kid comes. Because that's usually how it happens. Somebody trying to break it off with the next person, and bam, they pop up pregnant.
Yeah.
And they just like, here we go.
And it's just like, why would you want to put yourself through that? Like, I don't want to, I'm already going to get bigger and carry this baby and go through hormonal changes, body changes. Like, there's a lot that come with pregnancy that, there's a list. I know it's a list it's a girl with a list on TikTok, and she got all the reasons why you shouldn't have kids because of what pregnancy does to like the female's body or whatever. But why would you want to go through 9 months of misery? Because this person obviously won't be happy that you're pregnant. Or vice versa, if it was the guy that decided he wanted to get his girlfriend pregnant and, whatever the case may be, just to keep her around. Like, there's 9 months of misery. There's no happiness. It's not a happy pregnancy. There's no happy photos. They probably don't want to have a baby shower. Don't show up at the baby shower. Don't want to do a gender reveal. Don't want to talk about it. Like, don't want to be near you. Like, that's just misery. Like, nobody wants to go through 9-10 months of that.
Yeah, that's first of all, a pregnancy. You gotta have another person. You gotta have that other person there, because it's a lot. It's a lot with pregnancy. Like, women, it's a lot of, like you said, hormonal changes and a lot of like emotional things.
Yeah,
and it's a lot to that. And going to the baby shower like by yourself is wild too. Like, that's a crazy ass. Like, where's the dad at? Like, having a baby shower with no dad there is a little crazy. That's probably when it really might hit somebody. Like, oh shit, like this this is
You
real.
gotta do all this shit by yourself. Like, who gonna tie your shoes when you can't see over your stomach no more?
That's selfish as a guy
Like, who
to
gonna do these things?
just. So off topic. You gotta get to the bottom of why do you think that? Because I always hear this all the time. Like once somebody has a kid, that the guy changes. Why do you think exactly why the guy changes? They say because it might not be no signs leading up to the time where the baby comes, and then now it's the baby's coming. Now the guy just do a complete 360.
I mean, it could have been a sign. You could have ignored it. It could have been a red flag that you turned white. You might have thought, oh, it wasn't a big issue. It's not a big thing. Like, it was episodes ago. Remember I said that when guys have kids and then when they get like a girl pregnant, and then all of a sudden they going outside more, they want to do this more, like without her. Like, you can't do it because you're pregnant. Like, you're going to be uncomfortable, or you're not going, you're going to want to leave early, and I'm not going to want to. So I'm going to just go without you. Like, shit like that. And it's just like, you don't see a sign of that before you get pregnant. But then during your pregnancy, you see it. Then after your pregnancy, you home with the baby more, and he want to step out more. And it's just like, there's no real reason to say, like, oh, why he's doing it. It's just like, he feels as though he has more freedom than you do. Like, that I don't understand. When you have a baby with somebody, both of y'all are the parents,
right,
not one person. So this just ain't, oh, all of a sudden you want to go outside 3 days out of the fucking week and I'm just home with the baby. Nigga, come on. I already pumped. You got a couple bottles in there. You can, here's your baby.
Right. And I asked that question because I wonder if it ties back into the having a baby to save a relationship. I feel like there might not have been no signs there that he wouldn't be a father, but it might have been, so the signs of him not being the dad might not be there, but the signs of y'all ready to split might have been there. So now when the baby came, it made it seem like he left because the baby came, when really he left because he didn't fucking like you. That could have, because I see people, especially women, a lot of single women, they hate their baby dads. Like, they hate them. And I feel like they must have, it was some sort of hate there before, and then the kid came, and then I feel like they trying to use the kid as the excuse of why the person left, when really is a whole bigger story behind it. Not saying that, dads do, just up and go for whatever reason, they up and go, but there might have been a little bit of, he wanted to leave in the first place. You had a baby come along, and the nigga just still left because he couldn't deal with you.
I mean, but that's another thing too. Like, when women get pregnant, and then some men aren't emotionally intelligent enough. So when she gets pregnant and she's going through all those emotional changes, and like her mood is up and down, and some women, they go from really loving their man before they got pregnant to during their pregnancy not standing this motherfucker. And it's just not. It's not the simple fact of something that he particularly did. It's just, this is just the mood that's kind of carrying with what's about to change and how my body is changing and like what I'm doing. So sometimes that happens too during pregnancy. There's a lot of mood swings, and there's a lot of emotional up and down, and a lot of men can't handle it, so they rather just not be around it.
Right.
So that can also be a factor as well. And then once the baby gets here, some men don't understand postpartum depression either.
Right.
So that conversation is not being had for a group of men, not for women talking to men. A group of men that have had kids and are still with their child's mother, and she went through postpartum depression, whether it was for a short period of time or a long period, or whether it was sporadically out of nowhere. They don't know how to talk about it and handle it. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They like, oh, she don't like me. She barely want to touch me. She don't even want to look at me. She really want to hold the baby. It's just like, she's going through something mentally, and you're not helping because you're making it worse. You just blaming it on her instead of trying to figure out how to help or what the fuck can you do. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, every situation is different. All right, so let me give you this. Let me get this quote. It says, "People be sexually attracted to you, not interested in you. Big difference."
Yes. What? Yeah. I ain't gotta talk to you. I ain't no way to say.
I think some people sometimes don't. They can't separate the two. They be like, all right, I got this person that wants me. This person that want.
Might be a lust.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't find the words for it. The person might not actually want you. They might have just wanted, like you said, they might just want to smash and keep it moving. But you just think, oh, they attracted to me. They might be interested in me. Whole time they interested in something else. Like,
yeah,
they might can't stand you. It's a lot of women that niggas just can't stand. They want to smash and that's it. Like, it's a lot of because a lot of y'all is annoying as fuck. But a lot of y'all is annoying. But because guys put up with a lot if they really want to. If they really trying to, see what's going on. Guys gonna put up to a certain point. But then after a while, if the guy already hit, he'd be like, all right, I'm no longer dealing with this bullshit no more. It's crazy as it may sound. That's how it is. Like,
Listen,
all right, I got what I wanted.
No when somebody just trying to get the draws from you or whatever case may be, they're not really interested. I mean, it's sad to say, but you know it more after they done already, got what they wanted. Because after that, now the conversation
should get shorter.
Conversation is non-existent. They leaving you on red. They telling you like, oh my bad, I was asleep, or oh my bad, I was out, or everything is a fucking excuse on why they couldn't text you back, why they didn't answer the phone call, why you saw them out and they act like they didn't know your ass. Like, that's embarrassing to them. It's just like, but y'all need to be honest. Like, if you're just trying to smash, tell somebody you're trying to smash, and stop saying that. Oh, females don't like that. Y'all like, don't. I don't know what female you talking to. Maybe you talking to the wrong female. She don't want to just smash. That's why you upset, and now you making a group all of us together. Like, you have to be honest. If you just want to smash, don't come up to her off the street and you don't even fucking know her. Like, I'm just trying to smash. What's up?
Oh yeah, that's a little
too much.
That's a little aggressive there.
But like, if you got her number and wherever kids me are having a conversation and you think it's going one way and she thinks it's going another, just state your honesty. Like, listen, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm really just trying to, yeah, I mean, like, if you down with it, you down with it. If you're not, I understand that. But I just wanted to be honest.
Yeah, let me say, it's the way you gotta go about stuff. It's the way
That's it.
It's the way you gotta go about it. It's the way it's about how you talk is very important. Because a lot of y'all don't know how to talk, and y'all just be saying shit and
you be upset that
get mad when somebody come right back at you.
You be like, what the fuck?
You got to be suave with it. Like, you
not suave.
you got to be suave with it. You got to know how to say something without saying something. You got to know how to say something without saying something. Like, listen, because guys got a way, like we say all the time, guys got a way. The right guy has a way of saying some shit. And a woman understanding what the hell he's saying without it coming off as disrespectful, without him even being direct. He could say some indirect shit and it directly correlated with the female. She knew exactly what you was talking about. It just was what it was. It's how you go about it.
It's all about how you go about it. The person is going to be down with it or not. Like, you can be like, oh, I'm ready for a relationship. And the girl is like, oh, I'm not looking for a relationship. Like, I'm just not with it. I'm looking for casual dating. So casual dating, casual sex, whatever she looking for. So if you're not looking for that, don't go over there. That's not your boat. You try another one.
We talked about casual dating, didn't we?
Yeah.
Casually just.
Y'all didn't know. Y'all was saying casual dating is casual sex, and I was just like, no.
We go back down that line.
It's not the same.
With knowledge being power, is too much of it a bad thing?
I believe so.
You think too much knowledge is a bad thing? I think
for certain people, too much knowledge is a bad thing because some people just don't like. You want to know? They want to know all the 7 wonders of the world, and it's just like, I mean, in all reality, do you really need to know all 7 wonders of the world? Because I feel as though people that like, not people that read and just know things, like, that's perfectly fine. You go to school or you don't go to school. If you finish school already and you just like read, you just like knowing things, is perfectly fine. But some people will just go about it, and I'm trying to articulate how to put this, like knowing too much and then not using it in the right sense,
right?
If that makes sense.
So basically you got so much knowledge that you almost it almost makes you dumb pretty much, because you so smart that you're dumb pretty much. Like, you know so much, but you really just don't know how to. You
don't know how to put that in the right use.
Yeah,
it's just like,
exactly.
Like, it goes into like these
useless
fucking
knowledge.
Like conspiracy theorists. It's just like,
y'all
would say that people have so much knowledge of what's going on in the world, and that this person is this and this person sacrificed that, and y'all gotta watch out for this. And it's just like, half of this shit, we not even in the tax bracket to even be a part of it. So why the fuck does it concern us regular folks down here on the ground? Like, that don't concern us. What the fuck, especially when it comes to celebrities, y'all throw that shit all the way down the hole. Child, Beyonce is chanting, and y'all thinking that she's setting spells on y'all and shit, but ain't nobody possessed yet. I don't understand. The devil is just in everything. They sacrifice and having blood parties.
Did you see the one? This one just really pissed me off. I was like, this is no longer. I can't tell you. I work with a lot of conspiracies. So the one with Damar Hamlin saying, oh, he died on the field. He's really a clone.
Gucci Mane is a clone. Cardi B is a clone. Britney Spears is a clone. Who else is a clone? I think they said Miley Cyrus was a clone.
Everybody's a clone.
Everybody's a clone. And I mean, listen, Now there are a lot of like movies that come out, and you just be like, somewhere along the line, there's some truth to this.
Yes. See, there's a lot of common sense conspiracies. You don't have to think that far into them though. Like it's a lot of common sense. Like it was a conspiracy. Like it was somebody was on trial for something. Next thing you know, a UPS person showed up at the judge's house, tried to kill the judge. Next thing you know, the person that tried to kill that person got killed. We knew that person was gonna get killed because they sent him to send a hit. So this wasn't a conspiracy. We knew it was. If you're a high power judge. It's a high power case. Now this person is trying to silence that particular case. They send somebody after you. This ain't a conspiracy. This is just real life. We know that. But when it comes to celebrities and all that shit, we know it's some weird shit going on. This is not our tax bracket. I will not waste my time
worrying about what the fuck they doing in their houses. Like y'all need to worry about why they getting tax write-offs and they taxing us more. That's the fucking thing we need to be worried about. Why our shit is so high and they not even batting an eye, sweating, none of that. Yeah, because worry about that.
The problem sometimes with conspiracies is that sometimes people question everything now. Like it's a little bit of mental sickness in there because you can see right now it was a car accident. These two cars crashed. But in your mind, no, that just couldn't have been the end of the story. Like something must have happened. Like something must have happened. Like you clearly just seen this happen in front of you, but in your mind, it's so
like everything
twisted.
Has to have another reason. And sometimes the reason is just straightforward. I think a lot of people don't want a lot of people don't want straightforward answers, straightforward questions. Y'all don't want anything straightforward. It always has to be another reason to that, and then somebody else has to come in and feed that theory for you, so you know that what you feeling and what you believe in is actually true. Like, no, there was another reason for this, right? Right. That Aaliyah was sacrificed so Beyonce's career can skyrocket. Bitch, please try again, because that makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I really don't understand it. Sometimes y'all have too much knowledge sitting in y'all lap. And y'all just use it like profusely for the wrong reason.
Because just imagine if you took
like so much that y'all can use on reading these books and going down these rabbit holes to find out different information that's actually useful. Like I'm not understanding like these conspiracy theories. How do they get y'all to sleep at night? Because y'all should be paranoid as shit. Because y'all know all this shit is happening in the world. Like for real. I think it's Armageddon is starting.
Probably.
I done seen a couple stories on clouds that look different. The gates of hell are open. Like it's a lot of shit. That show was it The Last of Us? Was it that? No, the show The Last of Us that just came out. I saw another video about that. That's what's gonna happen eventually. I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's why you gotta live your life now because you don't know. The next day it might be. This might be all over. We might be starting over again. We might. I just hope you're gonna start off at the right place.
Listen, I don't know who you believe.
Man, listen. Like I always say, people because the like conspiracy people, they'll call you sheep. But then in my mind, I'll be thinking sometimes, I'm like, all right. I'm like, so you're a conspiracy sheep. Then we got people that do politics. They're political sheeps. Everybody's a fucking sheep. They just don't realize it. Y'all just a sheep for something different.
Y'all need to mind your business.
Just go ahead, man.
Seriously,
just mind your business. Honestly, like because at the end of the day, none of this shit really affects you because you're still gonna live your life. Because if you believe, that's the close it out. Because I would say if these people believe had the shit they did, they wouldn't be going to work. They be in the middle of a wood somewhere.
Y'all be in a bunker, getting ready for all this shit to go down.
But y'all people still go to work, still go to do all the other shit. And still go rebel. Don't be halfway in, halfway out. Go all the way in. All right, so let's start. Let me get this one. So, why no one wants to talk about evolving as a person? Why do you think that's the case?
I don't think people like change at all.
People hate change.
People do not like change. So it's just like if you see somebody like bettering themselves, it's like automatically you fake. How are you fake? How is that person fake? Like I'm just saying, are they going about it like, you know, in a way where you just feel threatened, so you want to call them fake, or are they just trying to better themselves? And now we'll give prime examples of like guys that might have grew up in the hood and everything around them, like the product of their environment was like basically you either gonna be a part of, you know, standing on a corner, or you gonna be like a stick up kid or some shit like that, and they decided they don't want to do that. So now it's a threat. It's basically a threat to every other nigga that's out there because this person doesn't want to fall in line with the rest of y'all. They want something better. And it's like, it's perfectly fine to want something better. It's perfectly fine to want better for yourself, whether it's your family or just want a better outcome because you don't want to be a product of your environment. But it's always a downfall because somebody's always judging you when you want to evolve yourself.
So over the years, well, one, you're supposed to evolve. We say it, I don't know how many times we say it. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to change. I mean, you're not going to be the same person you was at 18 that you are in your 20s, that you're going to be all in your 30s. Like, at some point, I would hope you would evolve, and I would hope you would grow, and just go ahead and, how would I say, upgrade your life, pretty much. Upgrade your life, man, because when he was younger, he was like, all right, I got money to spend. I'm just gonna blow it. It is gonna be what it is. You might still been living with your parents, so you have a care in the world. Right. I look back on it now, like all the money I blew. I said, when I still was living with my mom, I could have been saving. If I knew a little bit more about financial literacy back then, like I know now, I could have been in a better spot now. Maybe I wouldn't be working in my 30s. I probably would have been in a better predicament.
Would have been retired.
Yeah, exactly. So, if evolution is it's part of everything. It's part of the society. I mean, how many times certain shit you just can't say no more.
And how people are saying like technology is gonna take over. I don't know what y'all thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, like, we knew technology back when once these phones started and you be able to do everything on these phones. That's when
once they created the internet, y'all should have known that it was gonna move into a tech world. I'm not understanding why everybody is so up in arms on what's going on. Why y'all surprised they're making AIs and stuff like that? Like I'm not understanding. If you played the Sims game, like. I mean, shit, that's been out for years. Like, I'm just saying.
That was the start.
That's the start of it. I'm just saying, like, all these things were basically like put in front of our faces that it was gonna happen, and now that it's happening, everybody is like trying to rebel against it. It's just like, what are you gonna go back to do? Read the newspaper?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go back to that? Are you gonna go back to, not using electric cars? Are you gonna go back to everything being gas, not using an electric stove, not using the internet, like? Not having cable television, not having a television. Like, I'm just saying, are you going to go back to these things, or are you just rebelling against this because it's moving faster than you can catch up with?
Yeah, because I remember we had the conversations about this before. We was talking about minimum wage, and people was like, I ain't working at this job, I ain't doing that. They said, okay, you want to raise? Watch this. We going to put a robot in your spot. We're going to let them take care of this. No. We're going to have one person work there, make sure these robots still do what they got to do, and still serve you food. Now you ain't got no job. How many times you walk into a store, everything's self-checkout. You might got 2 cashiers. Everything's self-checkout now. Mm-hmm. Now people are like, I gotta stay in these lines, I gotta check my own shit out. Well, y'all didn't want to, nobody wanted to work there.
Or y'all go into a bank, and now a lot of banks are factoring themselves either to 2 or 1 teller. They're pushing you towards using the ATM or using your mobile device. Because at the end of the day, that is where the world is pushing towards. So if you have a debit card, they push you to use the ATM unless you're making a big withdrawal. Of course, you got to come talk to a teller. Mm-hmm. But other than that, if you got to wait in the line, you got to wait in the line. Learn how to use your mobile banking. That's what they're pushing you to do. There might be some banks that are ahead of the time, and some banks that are still lagging. Like I know a lot of older people like Citizens Bank or Wells Fargo. Or PNC as well, but then you have like Capital One and Chase who are kind of more tech forward. A lot of things are done online. There's a lot more ATMs standing by themselves than there are actual banks in certain locations. Yeah. So it's just like, it's either you're gonna get with the times or you're gonna fall behind. That's one of the 2 options. Just gonna say. And for the people that's saying like, oh, we go around and everybody's on their phones and everything like that, I mean. Yeah, because everything is on my phone.
Yeah, so listen, a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck. See, a lot of people got phones now. They use it for pointless shit. Like, you know how much money you can make off of just having a phone? Like, you know how much money you can make off of just having a following? Like, just people do pointless shit.
No, we're not gonna say that.
We're not
gonna say that because now we pushing that entrepreneurship thing.
No,
we're not gonna do that because right. I see this a lot in this day and age. Everybody's pushing entrepreneurship. Oh, you can make money by doing drop ship. Oh, you can make money by doing reviews. You can make money by doing this on your phone. It's like some people don't want to do all that shit. Everybody don't want to be a content creator. Everybody don't want to do that shit every fucking day. Some people want to go to their 9 to 5, live their life lavishly in their own way and enjoy it that way. Y'all pushing so much on these people, and it's just like, for what? They don't want to do it, and then y'all make them feel bad that they don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's the worst. Like, how you make somebody feel bad because they don't want to they don't want to fucking become an entrepreneur.
Child. And another thing, pushing somebody to own a house.
Yeah.
Y'all will do these seminars on how to get the house and how to get a grant for the house, how to get a loan for the house, what you need as far as financially for that house. But y'all don't go down the list of what happens once you in that house.
Right. And
your water tank is done, you gotta buy a new one, or something is wrong outside and they gotta dig up your front lawn. Like, y'all don't go through those things, but you wanna push somebody into ownership, and it's just like, Everybody doesn't want that, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. Y'all can be telling people they need life insurance, they need health insurance, they need to make sure that their benefits are handled, after death for their family. Those are things that we need to push, especially the way a lot of people are like dropping, and nobody got the money to bury them. Like, those are conversations we need to be had, but everybody just want to push fucking making $400 a day doing reviews on Amazon. It's just like, if everybody's doing that, there are gonna be no consumers. What the fuck?
Yeah, everybody can't be the boss.
Like,
everybody just
there
can't
will be no workers.
There will be no workers. Somebody got to work.
Like, y'all understand how the economy work or no?
Yeah,
Okay, but never mind.
A lot of people don't.
I digress.
Before I get to the next one, I want to touch on this subject real quick. So the thing that happened in Memphis, right?
Oh.
So I purposely didn't watch the video because I can't keep putting myself through that trauma of watching black men die on tape, especially at the hands of another black man, whether it's from the police or whether it's from happening outside. Yeah, because I feel as though, like, when it comes to shit like that, we talked about this all the time, like, those people have families, and I think sometimes we forget at the end of the day, like, those people, I don't even know, I understand they have to, well, do they really have to release it to the public? Then I think about it, if the family's seen it, what good is it doing being released to the public, especially if it's pretty much like the dude's dead. It was a brutal beating from what I heard.
I think it's just the time that we're in. That's why they release it to the public. And because there's been so many, and then when Black Lives Matter, that organization came, into play. So it's just like, now they release it to the public so the public can see actually what's going on. Even though it doesn't help, because we can see videos of what's going on, and y'all still have cops that still have their job.
I was about to say, this isn't nothing new. It's just you just seeing it more. Like this ass whooping shit, this getting killed, this shit's been happening. Now it's just on tape to show you, yeah, we did this. That's all it is. And it's funny how
when they show Rodney King's beaten, and it was just like, people knew this was happening all across the world, but nobody saw that on live color or black and white television. So the fact that you seen it on television is so easy to get access to. It's just like, there can be an outrage, but there's not
and
much
even through the whole situation is just ironic. Like, those guys fucked up what they did, and those thugs, as we call them, was fucked up what they did. But even you see how quick they fired them and how quick everything. Even being black, wearing blue, you still ain't even got the same protection. Not saying they supposed to have protection from this, but we know how this go. If it was 5 white cops and this shit happened, it would have been they would have been on administrative leave first.
We already seen it happen. We already seen that. But it's just like the simple fact of the matter that I think people misconstrue what Black Lives Matter, what that organization really started as. People thought Black Lives Matter was just a thing for police brutality when it's white cops against black people. And it's just like, no, that's not the main reason. It's police brutality, period, in general against people when they abuse their power, when they doing regular traffic stops. Like, if that was a regular traffic stops, why did it take 5 of y'all to get that under control, and then y'all beat him on camera? There was no reason to beat him. He's unarmed and he's not a threat to you. I'm not understanding. That's the point. That is why Black Lives Matter was originally started. Police brutality across the fucking board for all of them, black, white, Chinese, Mexican, whatever they are, for all of them. But we took it as just white people. And everybody's wondering where the outrage is with these black cops. And there's you don't understand. We can have these protests. We have outrage, but these motherfuckers got fired and they got indicted, and they are going to court.
You know what I always wonder. So statistically, more white men get killed by cops, right? So I always wonder, how do white people handle those situations? How do they? Because you never really hear about those situations, but like, how do they handle the situations? Like, what are they doing that's probably preventing more white people getting killed than black people?
I don't know.
Because you see white people get killed just as much by the cops as black people do, but it seems like only black people is the ones that's broadcasted to the media. The white people that get killed is just like, all right. So I wonder if they just go to strictly just lawyers and probably a lot. You know, another thing is though, a lot of them are cops and a lot of them are in that circle, so they can just go to the higher ups. They ain't even gotta go through all of it. They get somebody fired. They do all of that.
Listen, they have different avenues that we don't know about. Yeah. So that's why it's not the same amount of justice.
Yeah, and it's the sad part. We gotta try to go to social media and get somebody more important to take a look at this. And you got what's his name? Sean King? what's his name? The dude that's online. That dude.
Sean King.
Sean King. You gotta like have the Sean Kings and everybody that have to like fight for us online. And meanwhile, these people just go, they take care of shit off behind the camera, behind the scenes or whatever. So, so what's your perspective on this? So it says, Black people are the only ones expected to take care of their parents before anything else, when other cultures literally set their kids up for life. A lot of Black parents live life as their kids as their kids owe them something because they simply did what they were supposed to do as parents.
As a child.
What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't have no problems.
I'm about to say I don't have no.
I don't have those issues. My mom and grandma are not expecting me to take care of them. Mm-hmm. It is just, I mean, as far as like lineage goes, is the three of us because it's just basically us.
Right.
But so everything kind of falls on one of us. If somebody passes away, it falls on two of us or whatever the case may be. So that happens. But like as far as taking care of your parents when it comes to Black culture, I do see it a lot. Like they have the entitlement that you owe them something, and it's just like yeah, you got me through school. You made sacrifices for me, and you gave me the life I have. Whether it was especially if it was a good life or whatever. And it's just like the entitlement to say that I owe you. No, I don't. I don't actually owe you. I don't owe you because you brought me into this world. I was simply a sperm and a ball. I don't know what happened after that. But here I am as an adult, as a child, as a baby, whatever the case may be. But I feel as though if your parent gave you a good life, if your parent, made sure you felt, wanted, loved, and made sure you were kind of prepared for the world, and they still do for you now, it's nothing to give back to them at all. Right. It's perfectly nothing to give back. I see a lot of people spoil their parents or whatever case may be because they love them, but they don't feel like they owe them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I want you to have this because you gave me this, but I don't feel like I owe you to give you this. I just want to do that because I love you that much, that I want to see you have better, or whatever the case may be. But telling somebody they owe you, it's fucking weird.
So it sounds like, well, one, like you said, nobody owes you anything. Like you owe yourself everything. Yeah. But it sounds like this particular person, she must have had like a falling out with the mom or something, and now she feels as though, because people, they get emotional, they want to write up stuff and they want to take it online. I don't really have I don't have a bad relationship with my mom, my pop. So when they get older, I'm gonna make sure they're taken care of because they always make sure I take what's taken care of. That's just how it goes. I don't. There's no bad relationship. There's no. My mom did everything. My stepfather did everything that they could to make sure I'm in the position that I am now. So when they get older, maybe retire, they might get. I don't know about the nursing home thing though. That's the only thing I don't know about.
I'm not putting my mom.
I was about to say I don't know about not putting my mom in the nursing home. Like I'll be there taking care of her, or I had somebody come there and take care of her, or take care of her stepfather.
I'll be your nurse or get you a nurse. One or the other, probably get you a nurse. I don't be a nurse. I'll get you a nurse. Just to make sure somebody there to help you, but make sure you're comfortable.
Right.
You can go outside. Anybody about to put you. I'm not putting my mom in a nursing home or my grandmother. Yeah, they made me the person I am here today. So you just got to take care of the ones that take care of you and the ones that you love. But everybody's relationship is different. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if your family is making you feel like you owe them for something or whatever case may be, and there's a lot of, Black parents and grandparents out there don't want to hear you tell them, I don't owe you anything, because they'll go to the line of everything they sacrificed for you, did for you, and everything like that, and call you ungrateful, unappreciative, and then some of them will go as far as not talk to you, ever again, because they'll just alienate you from, their lives because you felt as though you didn't owe them anything because you don't. I mean, as a parent, you have to take care of your child. That's the bare minimum. Like, they can't take care of themselves to a certain extent. Once they get older, it's like, okay, you can take care of yourself. But you're not a parent up until just when they're 18 and then that's it. You're a parent for the rest of your life. So when you 60 and they 50, you still their parent.
Exactly.
You're still their parent. Like, it doesn't matter. That doesn't stop. Now, some of the things that, you used to do for them may stop, yes, and they may be doing more for you to help you a little bit get along. You're getting older in age, certain things you might start to have some timers, things happen. But eventually it's just like, I don't owe you nothing.
Yeah.
Don't owe you nothing. But I'm not going to see you without either.
Exactly.
That's it.
All
That's
right.
it. That's
so I'm gonna play this. This is for our 2-6 man. You could comment on if you want, or if you don't want to. So it's
I feel like that's bad.
I just want to play this, right, and then we'll go from there. So let me play this.
This dude, he's going ahead and getting driven home by the dude that's driving, obviously. And me and him start like doing in this man's backseat while he's driving. Crazy. It was New Year's. I had a lot to drink. I was off the brown liquor. I was off so many brown liquors. Like it was intense. Why did I do it to him? Girl, I was drunk. Period. I was drunk. I don't even know the man's name, but he's fussing the driver. He's like, oh, are y'all serious right now? Like, me and my girl ain't even get up in here. Like, are y'all really serious right now? He proceeds to drop the dude off. He looks at me. Now I'm gonna show you something. Brings me to his house. We do the dude. This man got kids and he got a whole girl. Did I forget to mention that? So I'm in the backseat with this dude.
All right, so this was so the story was this woman admits to hooking up with an Uber driver shortly after he dropped her boyfriend off at his destination. So what's your thoughts on this?
Trifling. I am all for a woman's healthy sexual appetite, but that is trifling. I feel like going in on some niggas. I'm going in on her because that is trifling. Because I'm like, you don't know that, like, you already intoxicated or whatever case may be. So I really want to know the backstory. Like, how did you get in that Uber intoxicated by yourself? Nobody checked on you to make sure you was good or made sure you got home safely. So you in this Uber. So you in a shared Uber, I'm guessing, or whatever case may be. You in a shared Uber with this guy and his girlfriend. His girlfriend get dropped off. Then you do it with the guy. And then he gets dropped off. And then the Uber driver takes you to his house where his kids and his girl lay at and had sex with you to show you what you was missing from the guy you had sex with in the backseat. Like, you don't know nobody's name. You don't know if they, got diseases or whatever case may be. Like, being drunk is an excuse to have sex with your man. Right. Like, me and my man got into it in the backseat because, we was off that burn liquor. Oh, okay. But not somebody you don't know these people and you just...
Some super random. First of all, have some self decorum. All right,
decorum.
Have some decorum. Like, come on now. What are we doing here? That's just trifling. You don't even know this man's name.
I would have kept
Why do people think embarrassing themselves online is the way to go? Like, I don't understand. Like, why? When did that become a thing? That all right, I'm gonna go online and start telling everything. I don't care. You got pissed on. I don't care you slept with this man in the back of the... Like, some shit you just don't care about.
Talking about career.
I don't care about... Like, when did... All this shit is starting to become way too acceptable. Like, what happens in your bedroom is becoming way too acceptable online now. And
not acceptable. It's just like, you don't have... Like, like when I said that everybody doesn't need to know you're celibate. When I said that meant that everybody online don't need to know that. If you talking to somebody, they should know. Yeah. If you like golden showers, that person should know. If you like sleeping with randoms, they should know. No, like these things don't need to be shared on social media with anybody. Nobody needs to know what's going on in your pants, your bedroom, in your car, in the park. None of that. Nobody needs to know how many positions you like it in. Nobody needs to know that you like bumping coochies. Nobody needs to know that you like anal. Nobody needs to know that you like somebody spitting in your fucking mouth. Like, nobody needs to know all of that, like, at all. Like, that's your private business. That belongs in your privacy or in your group chat. It should not be on social media. I don't even know you, and I know your personals.
Yeah, but that goes back to the whole what everybody having the podcast. The problem is people don't know how to how would you say, talk professionally behind these mics. people drink, turn the mic on, and then they just start rambling on crazy shit. You be like, whoa, like, because let's keep it a lot of these podcasts, they don't have a direction. They're not even a podcast. It's just they got a mic and then they just get on the podcast. They don't have no topics, no title, no nothing. They just start rambling for about an hour and a half. Next thing you know, they didn't give you a whole personal life. They told you where such and such lived. This person got killed here. This person was fucking with this chick. That. They gave you the whole rundown. It's like, oh, like, certain shit you shouldn't just do. Just keep it to yourself. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares. I promise you. We promise you. But you know the sad part? That's the shit that gets broadcasted online. Yeah. It'll get broadcasted all over social media.
Right.
And then now people are like, this, that. And you got the people that's commenting like, oh my God, who keep taking... Somebody paying for this promo, people. Yeah. Somebody paying. Because these bloggers, they posting this shit for free. And if y'all are, holla at us. Because we got some content that we can really... You know what I'm saying? We got some real content that y'all, if y'all want to broadcast some shit, y'all broadcasting the bullshit. Like what is this?
Keep y'all sexual... Like, if you... Okay, it's one thing to be like, that's something I'll probably get. Like, somebody asks you a question, something I'll probably get into or whatever case. But I don't need to know. Don't go into detail what you did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like don't go into detail what you did to you. Like somebody asked a question, but that's something I might do. But a lot of that stuff does not belong on social media for everybody else. And it's just like, I don't know. Some people do it for popularity. They do it for clout. They want to go viral.
Yeah.
That's up to
That's
you.
what it
You want
is.
to do that. Like that's perfectly fine for you. But don't get upset when motherfuckers is judging you. You let everybody know what's going on from the Rudy to the Tootie about your life, and you upset because people got an opinion.
Yeah, but
they
you
wouldn't have an opinion if they didn't know.
You know what I've learned, especially doing this. Like some of our biggest clips is always us talking about sex, and for whatever reason, people think they sex experts, and we don't really give a fuck. Like nobody cares. Some of our biggest clips is when we talk about something sexual, and then that's when we get the most comments. Because here come everybody. First of all, I didn't know half of y'all follow this, and next you know, everybody's a sex education. Oh no, because I did this, and if you do this, and then you do that,
and you must be this, and you must be corny. And it's just like you don't
Like,
even
huh?
fucking know me to say that I'm corny.
this was
Like,
an overall general. We
This
be
is
having
a
an overall
general
general conversation. Y'all be at
It'd be
y'all right
like,
at us like,
wow.
oh.
Like, okay, but we accept it because
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
we got tough skin. It is what it is.
It comes with it, but it'd be like, well, damn, like.
But watch it.
but we've definitely learned like that. Like everybody thinks they're a sex expert. I don't know why, and then that seems to be what gets people attention for whatever reason. I don't understand why, but seems to be the topic that gets people attention. And I guess because everybody, like you said, everybody's a sex educator and they know
It's
everything.
the most interesting topics because when you get too deep on another topic, nobody wants to talk about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You start saying some shit with some substance to it. Oh, no, I don't know
know shit about that.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Moving on.
That's why a lot of y'all got bad sex now because everybody think y'all fucking sex expert. You can't tell this person can't tell that person. Y'all can't even have a conversation in the bedroom.
Half of y'all don't know what a G spot is. Y'all don't know if she faking it or actually making it. So I will not take sex advice from nobody on social media.
Yeah, everybody's a genius. Let me hear this one. This quote. It says, "They make it seem like it's men versus women when it's actually you versus your unsolved trauma."
Yes. Oh my. Yes.
I don't think
What? Yeah, but woo, honey.
That's a good
listen
quote
here.
right there.
Listen here. If you have trauma that you do not want to deal with, or you think that is not important, you think that you already dealt with it, but you really swept it under the rug, it seeps its little ugly green head out at the worst moments and at the worst times. Because a lot of y'all show y'all true colors. Y'all are misogynistic. A lot of y'all don't know how to be in a relationship. Y'all don't know how to effectively communicate. Y'all don't know how to set boundaries, set healthy boundaries. Y'all don't know how to abide by somebody's healthy boundaries. Y'all don't know the difference between listening to understand and then listening to respond. It's a lot of shit. I can go down the fucking list, but I'm just saying, if you have past trauma that you haven't dealt with, deal with it. Find somebody to talk to, find an outlet. This stigma on like therapy is for weak people. It's not. A lot of y'all really need it. And the reason that relationships, marriages, stuff like that fail is because nobody wants to put in the work to deal with the shit that they dealt with before, that they haven't dealt with. And it's just showing up. It's just like, how do you expect me to continue this if you don't put in the work for yourself? Like, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't do that. So you ain't giving nothing to this relationship if you just empty.
Yeah. The first step is admitting that you have trauma and that you're dealing with trauma, because some people don't even understand what trauma is. Mm-hmm. They think it was just something normal in their life. They think growing up in a broken household was just normal and that's what everybody did. Mm-hmm. So they think just having to figure it out on your own, because that's what they did growing up, that's just normal. That's what everybody did in their neighborhood, so that's what they did. They might thought the only way to get ahead in life was to do something illegal, because that's all they seen in their neighborhood, and they seen some people that got ahead. That's what they did. You're a product of your environment sometimes, and some people are a product of trauma and don't realize that they're a product of trauma, and they don't even know how to deal with the trauma because they don't know that they have trauma. Mm-hmm. It's just something normal to them that happened every day. They might not even think it's trauma. They might think just growing up without a dad is just normal. Nope. It shouldn't be normal. Like that's something that shouldn't be normal. I know it's normalized. It's normalized, but that's not something that's normal. They might think putting hands on the female is normal because they seen whoever their mom might have dealt with was putting hands on her, and she kept putting hands. You know what I'm saying? She kept them around, or she might have fought back. Mm-hmm. That's not normal. Domestic violence is not normal. That's a form of trauma that you've seen. Mm-hmm. Because kids growing up, they see that. They always say you got to get a kid at a young age, because once they get older, their mind is already made. Like their mind is like, all right, this is what I seen growing up. Kids retain a lot of things, and so then when kids do stuff, parents sometimes be wondering like, where did that come from? Mm-hmm. They saw it somewhere along the line. They saw somebody doing this or somebody saying this, Because that's how they picked it up. Kids just don't just randomly just pick shit about the blue. Like, it was somebody taught them that, or they seen that, or something along those lines. And that's just how they thought. That was the way for them to go.
Yeah, but it's not men versus women. It's really just everybody needs to figure out they shit. And I don't know what type of standpoint it is, but y'all need to figure y'all shit out. It's really not that hard. Figure it out. Have a conversation with somebody. Like, talk about, I don't know who y'all are talking to, but like whoever you're talking to and you still dealing with the same shit, like, and they're not letting you know that you're the problem, is a problem. It makes it way worse. It really does. Yeah. But yeah, no, ain't nobody against nobody. That conversation old.
Like we all
is so old. It's nobody, like it's you against you. That's who it's against. It's you against you. Right. And if you decide to put your views out in the world and thinking that it's okay for those views, there might be somebody that says, oh yeah, that's right, I believe in it. Y'all both should deal with your trauma together.
Yeah,
because something is wrong.
Some people don't know how to deal with the trauma together now. They're just two traumatized people, don't know what the hell going on, and just like
that shit is stressful. Ain't nobody dealing with it.
All right, let me give you this one. It says, could a man's baby mom stop you from being interested in dating him?
Yep.
Just that simple, right?
Very simple. Very simple.
So is it the baby mom herself? Is it the way she look, or is it just
the way she look? What?
Like because you could think like, all right, you coming for me, but is this what you really like? Like some dudes baby mom be hit. Let's keep it a B. Like some dudes baby mom.
I'm not going to judge it off of that. I can't judge it off of that because you got niggas that'll hit anything.
You got a point there. And
it's just like you're like, okay, well, you dated her and you dated me. It's like you'll put yourself in a headspin that you don't need to be in. At the end of the day, it's just like if he and his like baby mom don't have really good communication and it's constantly, always a problem, that starts to weigh on you.
Right.
And everything like that. Or if y'all just started talking and his baby mom is doing like pop-ups and like she constantly, like she trying to follow you and she got her friends following you and she's stalking your page and she trying to be in your inbox and all this other stuff, and she trying to like say like, oh, he still, be at my house and he still be texting me, still be calling me, like he still want his family and da-da-da. And she can be either in a relationship or she can be single. And that shit is redundant and it's tiring. Nobody wants to deal with that. And it all depends on you as a person and how strong you are. Because if you haven't, like I said, it's always you versus you. So if you haven't dealt with your trauma and you haven't dealt with your personal, gains and losses and everything like that, then a lot of that shit will bother you, but you won't say nothing. You'll just stick around for it. And then some people that have got through it and they know their self-worth, they know what they're not going to deal with. I'm not dealing with that shit. When you figure out how to talk to her, maybe I'll be around, maybe I won't.
Yeah, it's well, you kind of just sum that up there. I'm sure that a lot of women have been scared away or scared off by a particular. So some women don't even want to deal with dudes that have baby moms. Number one, because they might have dealt with a dude that had a baby mom, and then it was like hell, pretty much. It was like hell, and they never want to have to deal with that situation again. Or they might have trust issues, and they don't trust niggas could just be friends with their baby mom too. That could be another thing too.
And that's a boundary, because you get to that stereotype that every nigga that got a baby mom is still fucking her, and it's just like, do I want to put myself through that, or and it's like, do I really want to think about that? Like, do I want to be questioned? Like, I had no problem, with trusting him thus far, and now all of a sudden somebody said this. And now it's like, should I really be thinking that? Because I'll scroll up and down like Facebook and Instagram. It'd be so many quotes like, oh, do still fucking his baby mom, or don't fuck with this person because they still doing this, or when he doing that, this is what that mean. It's just like, so many people are putting their trauma on social media and then making it into quotes and making it into memes and then sharing it. It fucks with other people, because it's just like, it'll make somebody second guess what they have going on because they said this, and it could have been a hint of that you might have seen in your partner, but you have no solid proof. You have really no inkling. Like, your gut ain't telling you nothing's wrong. Like, your intuition is perfectly simmered. Like, and that can just like, maybe. And it's just like, now you got all these other ideas in your head that you didn't have before. And it's not saying you naive in your relationship. It's just saying that people are putting out their traumas on other people. because
Right.
they haven't dealt with them. So because every nigga cheated on you, you making it seem like every nigga is gonna cheat on the next bitch, and that's not true. Because your marriage didn't work, because you decided that you want to get married before you have kids or whatever the case may be, you feel as though everybody that had kids before they get married is not gonna have the same relationship that you have, and it's just like, that's not a thing. Like, y'all gotta start dealing with y'all shit, because y'all putting it out there for everybody to see, and then it's impressionable because on the internet, and y'all can say people don't have to look at it, they don't have to believe it. If they know their self-worth, they don't have to worry about it. We're humans.
Yeah.
We're humans, and it's just like an idea can pop up out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure everybody gets some random ideas in there. You be like, random scenarios in your head or random plots in your head that never will fucking happen, but it popped in your head for some reason. Exactly. So it happens. It's just like, stay away from that shit, because
Yeah.
I'll just be like, scroll past it.
Because trauma on social media is a real thing, and people, because I
Y'all
don't know
be
how
trauma
much,
bonded.
I don't know how much, like how many times, it's only so many niggas ain't shit that I can do, like baby dads ain't shit that I can see, yo, before you be like, yo, let it go. Like sometimes you want to be telling these chicks, let it. I understand you a strong mother, and you know what I'm saying, you doing what you got to do, but like, all right, you want to pat on the back every day, like listen, that nigga ain't shit. We get it. We understand, but people get to the point that they'll write a whole text message out about what the baby dad said, and they couldn't do that, and then they finish the text message off with, "Oh, I told my son don't worry about it. He don't worry about them tears. I'm gonna make sure he good. He ain't never going to cry and all that other shit." Like, yo, come on, man.
Shut up. Just take
care of your kid.
Just take care of your
People be
kid.
wanting a pat on the back for being a parent.
Ah.
And that's what the problem be. Like, you want somebody to pat you on the back for doing something that you had the kids. You had the kids. All right, we know this nigga ain't shit, but at the end of the day, you're still a mom. You're still the parent. You still got to take care of these kids. Ain't nobody gonna keep patting your back every fucking day. We understand it's a hard job being the parent, but you're not the only parent out here that's dealing with shit with hard jobs, because a lot of parents out here dealing with way worse. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying, we can't keep patting you on the back every day. All right, every once in a while you want somebody, you know what I'm saying, all right, cool. But we're not doing this every day. We're not doing this every week. We're not
There
going
are support
every month.
groups out there. For
Yeah,
stuff
there
like
is.
that. It don't need to be. I mean, if there's a social media support group for it, yeah, sure. If there's a physical support group, go to it. But nobody's like, people care, but people don't care. So everybody's
Exactly.
everybody's not gonna give you a round of applause for, taking the vital steps to make sure that your child is properly taken care of. So if that nigga he's not taking care of his responsibilities and everything like that, and you want financial help, take him to court.
Yeah, and leave it at that.
And leave it at that. There's no reason to get on social media and bash him and say, oh, he not shit, he taking care of his other kids, Like, if you see it, take him to court. If you're not getting anything from the court system or wherever case may be, like, make these guys give up their parental rights then, if you're not getting anything out of them. Because you constantly talking about it, you constantly saying, oh, he ain't shit, he ain't doing nothing for his child. Like, well, why does he have the title as a father? Why are you calling him a father and some of them don't even sign the birth certificate?
Yeah, and to end that, this would be the last point. To end that, social media, they gotta think of when it come to like memories and shit. So you never know that the dad might have screenshotted it. He might have got his life together down the line. But then now you get older, you get to make your own decisions. The kids get older, get to make their own decisions. Now they might fucking rebel against you when they get the dad side of the things. And now they was like, oh, my mom really wasn't shit. She just was making it seem like everything was good. Because kids grow up. And what you understand is kids grow up. They're not going to always be little anymore. They grow up and they get to make their own decisions. They really get to understand how shit really, they get to hear the other side of shit.
And stop sugarcoating shit for y'all kids, because a lot of these kids are growing up, especially if they have single mothers, a lot of these boys are growing up and blaming their mother for their misfortunes and how they went down the wrong path because their dad wasn't around. But they don't have the true story of why their dad wasn't around or what happened. Their mom might either told them nothing, or she just basically saying, oh, your dad ain't shit, your dad ain't shit. Or whatever case may be. It was one thing that my mom always did. She was very truthful. And then when I got older, I can see it for myself what was going on. Made my decision whether to like him, talk to him, or not. Right. So let your kids make that decision, but be truthful with them on what's going on. Your dad is just not around. Your dad's not around. Yeah. When they come around, and it's just like, you don't want to keep putting your kid through that disappointment, but sometimes they got to go through it to understand, like, you can make that decision when you get older, what's going on. But then you'll have them dads that'll try to gaslight the shit out of their kids and be like, oh, well, you ain't understand what's going on between me and your mom, and she just didn't want me around, and she was just, it's just like, that's not the case. Yeah. Like, be honest with your kids. That to a certain extent and a certain age, be honest with them on what's going on.
Yeah.
That's it.
You want to wrap it up when it comes to let's face it, when it comes to just facing all of these situations and everything.
Face your shit head on, because nobody else is going to face it for you. Nobody else is going to help you really through it if you're not willing to help yourself. A lot of this shit is just simple. Like, it's just very simple common sense that I don't think people are putting into play. Very much so. And it's just like, you can say what you want about how you move in this world and everything like that, but understand that everything you do has a consequence or a repercussion, whether it's big or small. So everybody can do what they want to do. Like, y'all have free will. That is what y'all are born with. That is what you are given. But at the end of the day, that free will can get you into some shit. So, understand what you need to face and how you're going to face it.
Yeah, face your problems head on. You know what I'm saying? Face your problems. Take a look in the mirror. Mm-hmm. Like we always say, man, common sense ain't always common. So put a little bit more smarts in the world. If you need gear, like always, Letsmakesenseofitpodcast.com. Letsmakesenseofitpodcast.com. Like always, Love Jones Wine, lovejoneswine.com. Promo code SENSE. Promo code SENSE. Promo code SENSE. And on that note, it's the boy Vince.
And I'm Ash.
Holla at y'all.
Bye.
Make it, baby. Make it make sense. Come on, make it, make it, make it, make it make sense. Come on, make it, baby. Make it make sense. Come on, make it, make it.